when you're able to categorize them, then you can go like, okay, well, I don't want to pick too much of one thing and just like bog everybody down with that thing. So I'm like putting a good mix of my different feelings that I do.
That's probably like your process of finding out what songs to cut on a project too.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way, what songs flow together and how do you create that like dynamic?
Right. Exactly. That's everything. Like there's certain songs that I love that I haven't cut yet because there was a song in that same vibe that I loved even more. That I was like, well, I got to cut that one first. Of that feeling, I can't bog them down with like everything on this record's that feeling because I do a lot of different stuff and I like to do a lot of different stuff. But like when I'm charting out, okay, I have this feeling right here, you know, and I love all 6 of these songs, but I can't put all 6. So I know this one's top. Right. I know this one's second. Then on your next record, you cut a couple more of those, and it's like then there's a sound there, you know.
Yeah. So it wasn't Truck. It's going to be your last single for this album.
Yep. And
then you're dropping the remaining 4?
Well, yep, 4 more.
Remaining 4.
That's going to be on August 27th.
Awesome. August 27th.
And I'm playing Whiskey Jam with Job on the 26th. Bruh. And as I'm finishing this show, the song's going to be coming out.
Are we?
That's pretty sweet.
Are we going to be able to get him in?
Are you going to sing him?
Probably.
Sweet.
We'll see.
I will do anything.
We'll see. Okay. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah. August 26th.
Dude, Dawson already told this story on a podcast, but it was on the In the Round podcast. But he was here writing with me when he was like 19 or something.
Yeah.
And I was playing my first Whiskey Jam that night. And I was like, man, you want to just go with us, dude? He was like, here at like 4. We wrote during the afternoon. I'm like, dude, you want to just go with us? He's like,
right.
Hell yeah, man. Like, whatever. So I was like, yeah, dude. He's like, man, I'm only like 19. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I was like, look, hold this bass and walk in behind me, and he's just going to think you're the fucking bass player. And we walked him in. Nowadays, they check your ID. Everybody in the band, they don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, no.
Back then, it was chill. We were just like, just walk in behind me. We'll be good.
I might be able – we'll talk about this off recording because I don't want to throw
Don't want to give too many secrets away, dude.
No secrets.
So I've got a fairly specific question.
Yeah.
Did you help Joe write Bad Out of Birmingham?
I did not. Bad Out of Birmingham was Hannah Dasher and Eric Dillon.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Eric Dillon. Eric Dillon's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's an artist. He's a wild man, dude. He's got a crazy mind. He writes great shit.
You do too.
Thank you. Yeehaw.
I don't know. It's kind of good. I don't know.
It's kind of good. It's kind of decent.
Bro.
Dude, I did write a song on that album, though, that I'm very excited about, and it hasn't come out yet, so I don't want to, like...
Don't want to jinx it?
I don't want to jinx it, but it is going to come out. I know that it will. It's called... what is it called? We named it like 5 different... Oh, it's called Time. We named it like 4 different titles. It's called Time now.
That sock got you, didn't it?
The sock, dude. But yeah, it's called Time. We wrote it with Rob Schneider. And
Rob Schneider?
Rob Schneider, Revival Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
So we
that is the Rob Schneider
that is
in the music world.
The big Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
But we wrote that song, and it made more sense later than it did when we wrote it. Like it created its own meaning and like it over time, and it's called Time. So I guess, I mean, that's a really great song, and I always loved that song. And Job was like, hey, I'm cutting this 5-song project, and we're cutting that song. And I was like, hell yeah, dude, it's an emotional song. Is he dropping
all 5 of his as singles?
I think they're all 5 coming out of singles. I mean, when you're only doing 5, you might as well.
Might as well, yeah.
If I was doing 5, I'd have probably dropped 2 more singles after It Wasn't the Truck. But since I'm doing 7, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to sit here and do 7 singles over and over and over and over and over again.
So drop 3 and then
people like the deep cuts, dude. I'm an album cuts kind of guy, dude. Yeah. I like the shit that isn't like the radio song. I like to go dig in when I like an artist and I know I like them. I like to go dig into their like what they really want to say.
Yeah.
And I never just wanted to like, throw as many like songs I thought could be on the radio at the wall and see what stuck. I know a lot of people do that, and that's fine. I just don't want to do that. I
Then
want
you
people
might
to,
get lucky and get one on the radio, but
and then
there's
no one gives a
six
shit
other-
about you.
Yeah, then there's 6 other great ones that could have made radio.
There's
that
like,
just wasn't
you know,
interested in at the time.
There's like 2 million women out there that love the song and they don't even know your name, and that's about all you get when you get on the radio. If you're just a one-hit wonder on the radio.
That might be a song title.
But you know what I mean, it's kind of like that. It's like
Yeah.
you're risking it for the biscuit at that point, and like you might get it.
Which
You might get
biscuit
the-
though? Like a Hardy's biscuit?
Hardy's biscuits are pretty dank, dude. Dude, what? No, a Red Lobster biscuit, motherfucker. A
That's,
Red Lobster biscuit.
that's some biscuits.
But you know,
That's some cheesy biscuits.
dude, they're so good.
Yeah, I love them.
I don't even eat a lot of bread, bro, but I will fucking scarf them bitches down, dude.
If you've seen me, you know I eat a lot of bread.
I also drink a lot of bread,
Oh
too.
yeah. I don't drink.
What were we talking about? I forgot.
Something about right. Something like that.
Something about writing or something like that.
Hey. If you forget what you're talking about, it's going to be a good podcast.
You know, I already like this podcast. This is good.
Man, I appreciate that.
I like the 4 people. It's a good vibe.
Yeah.
I just want to
Thanks,
hear
bud.
all of your guesses on how far we are into the podcast.
I'm gonna say an hour 30.
I'm going to say 1 hour.
I'm looking at it, so I know.
No.
We are an hour and 6 minutes in.
Oh,
Yeah, that's good.
Not bad.
yeah, it's not
Hey,
bad.
I'm a Joe Rogan guy. You know, I
Yeah.
was telling this to Todd yesterday. I'm like, I will put a Joe Rogan podcast on Monday, and I will finish that shit on Thursday afternoon.
Mhm.
Like, I'll just listen to it whenever I have the opportunity through the week. I'll just
Especially
put it on
Elon
for
Musk.
30 minutes or whatever.
That was like the
Yeah.
one with Ernest and Jelly Roll. He split it up into 2, but
Really?
I watched that one for probably 2 weeks. The episode 1 and 2. But
Right. I like doing that. I
Yeah.
enjoy it because like it's like watching a movie where you're on this plot line and then you finally get to the like beef of the story, like 2 hours in, then you're really like rocking.
yeah,
It's like people are like, okay, we're gonna do this hour podcast, and I'm like, man, I feel like if you
Well,
really wanted to get to know me, you would probably know a very little amount in 1 hour. You sit with me for 3 hours, you're gonna feel like you know me after that shit.
I know Ron Nelson, and me and this guy could sit here all night. And
So
We absolutely could.
we try to go by about an hour, give or take.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
that's common. That's common, and there's nothing wrong with it because it's digestible, and it's the same reason why people put out singles now instead of big albums, and they put out EPs instead of big albums because it's hard to get people to have the attention span to sit there and digest a 3-hour podcast.
yeah.
But when it's somebody that they genuinely want to hear talk, they are fucking happy that it's 3 hours. That's how I feel with Joe. Like, I can't listen to every Joe Rogan podcast, but man, when it's somebody
When it's
that
something
I really
good,
love,
yeah, definitely.
and like he brings on cool enough people where
Like
even if
Theo,
it's something that I don't
Yeah.
really love, a lot of people out there do, and they're going to
Yeah.
listen. So he gets a consistent crowd, even though he has these wildly different people on there all the time, and that's super rad.
But well, I mean, sometimes we've got time limits, and sometimes, like, there was one day where they had to go to War Chase Music Fest. I think it was Manny's podcast, where we had to leave a little bit early, had to cut a little bit out. But
Right.
if we've got the time, we don't have any problem recording for 3 hours.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I was even telling Todd, I was like, I kind of like the longer podcast because
Yeah.
you cover everything.
Yeah,
you
you
know.
just wander your way into funny stories and just
Yeah.
things like that. Gives you a little more freedom to express things that you might not even thought about,
Yeah,
in a long
definitely.
time.
and with you, because I know you're fixing to be busy as shit, and we're not going to be able to get. I mean, since I'm staying at the Redneck Frat House now, so we'll probably get more opportunities to sit down with each other. But
No,
before
this, is
this-
good. right in the middle of the release cycle. This is perfect time.
yeah, man, I'm so pumped up for Friday, dude,
It's
because
gonna
I
be
get to come
sweet.
see you at Common John's.
Oh yeah, and that's a day.
Yeah.
That's a day it's out too.
Yeah, and then it comes out as soon as you get done there.
Well, no,
No,
it'll
it
be
comes
coming
out-
out, but
it
the
was-
night before.
Yeah,
so I'll
so-
be going there that day
Man, I
after
always
like.
think Friday night at midnight, not Thursday night.
Right,
at midnight,
right.
So why do I do that? Because I listen to the music on my way to work, the new Music Friday on my way to work the next morning.
Right.
But
That's the benefit of the Thursday night whiskey jams. Honestly, like it's a cool crowd because you got the Monday crowd. It's like a lot of the industry folks, mostly industry folks, I'd say, like other artists and people that work at pub labels, young like Belmont grads that are like got their first job at a publishing house or whatever it is.
To be hungry.
Everyone's there.
Yeah.
That's the people that's there on a Monday, and then on Thursday it's like all these tourists coming in from wherever they're coming in from. They're flying in on Thursday night.
Yeah. And
if they are smart and they don't go to Broadway, they go down to Losers or they go down to Winners and see a whiskey jam. It's like
I can't go to Broadway, dude.
I can't do it anymore. It's too crazy for me. Too crazy.
I can't even look at that place.
Well, isn't it fun to like pay $7 for a beer or whatever?
No, I'm not paying $7.
It's like, dude, people who have been to Nashville a bunch of times. Like I met this family from St. Louis. They've been here a bunch of times. They're like, yeah, we know that we like Midtown more, so we just come out here.
Dude, I love Midtown, but we don't need to give out our secrets and tell people that Midtown's great. Midtown sucks, guys.
Midtown's trash,
garbage.
Go to North Nashville, you'll love it. But
stay on Broadway. Do not go anywhere.
Stay on Broadway. But yeah, so
stay in them 3-hour lines.
The people that end up at a Thursday night whiskey jam, a lot of times people that have followed whiskey jam a long time and maybe even been to one or two before, but they live out of town and like they're fucking excited as hell to go to a damn whiskey jam once they get to Nashville because of the Thursday night one.
Right.
So that's the benefit of it, and you're playing for people who might actually become fans of you.
Yeah.
Where when you're playing on a Monday night, you're playing for a bunch of industry people who either like secretly hate you or secretly are like competitive against you or whatever the fuck. Like there's like some weird energies in there sometimes. Sometimes not. Sometimes it's awesome, but you can just tell like there's a lot of weird like energies going around when it's all industry people.
Yeah.
Thursday night's like fuck it night, dude.
Yeah.
And so doing like a release and having a Thursday night whiskey jam is like the fucking greatest.
I love it.
It's so fun.
Is Job going to release one too on that night?
So he's playing that night with me, but I don't know what his schedule
is.
Yeah, but he's doing all 5 as singles, so they're going to be spaced out like that.
I need to get after him and get him on one of these.
Yeah, August 26th is going to be that whiskey jam,
bro.
Single release or album, rest of the album release.
This girl is killing me right now.
What?
She's just destroying me.
Oh yeah.
Is it who I think it is?
Hey.
Is it the crazy one?
No, not the crazy
one. Okay.
It's starting to seem like she's the crazy one, but I hope she don't listen to this podcast.
Hey, we're all crazy, baby.
She is wearing me out right now.
Wearing me out, dude.
I've got 2 questions.
All right.
Double question.
I'll probably ask them separately because I feel like they'll both probably have some pretty long answers. I know it's like a niche thing, but have you ever thought about doing a commentary over an album? Like an album commentary version?
I've never thought about it, but I would totally do that. I love to talk, man. I'm a Southern boy. I'll sit there and be like, hey, this one we were,
it's basically just like you take like a small podcast episode for every single piece of
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I like that.
You break it down, tell them like the stories of, oh, this is how I came up with this line, or this is where I was when we wrote this, or this is who I wrote this with.
Yeah, the stories are really fun. As a listener,
that would be cool as shit if you could get a whole vinyl of that.
Oh God, well, it's expensive to print.
That's expensive as shit.
Now, you do that as a Spotify release. You release the album on vinyl, then you do the Spotify exclusive Spotify release.
Exclusive release.
Yeah. And you're just like, yeah, man, we were just like, really vibing,
We were just sitting there vibing.
We were just vibing out there, man.
Playing the guitar.
But I do like that kind of stuff. I like the idea of, I was always the kind of listener that I wanted to know who wrote it. I wanted to know who produced it. I wanted to, like, if I could, if they were into that and they were recording it, like, see the process, watch whatever kind of behind the scenes. I loved all that shit. Like I just was kind of infatuated with